Hello and happy Monday. I'm very excited. Tonight we have a guest speaker and I'm going to introduce her in a second. But we are 1 week out from the launch, and I know that if you have people who didn't take advantage of the VIP discount coach, what I've been doing this week is, and last week, is inviting everybody to try the sample and really getting as many people on that as possible. Also doing those workouts and sharing them, because I've been getting a lot of people saying, what are you doing? When you get your order, do the unboxing, like share all of the things and really create FOMO. Make sure that you have your date picked out. We're doing January 4th, so that way people can have those 10 days, 14 days to get their stuff in. But guys, this is the season that we always want to like take off the gas, but we are going into our busiest. So make sure you're still showing up every day, inviting and doing all of those things, because people, I tell people, give yourself the gift of fitness this year, and they still, like, they're gonna have Christmas money coming up and all the things. So that's what I used when I used my Christmas money the first time I ever bought. So making sure, like, remembering that and really hitting on that, showing up every day and still doing your tracker. So I'm gonna introduce Alexandria. She is a one-star diamond coach. She works full-time as a radio personality and a country music director. She's going to talk to us today about growing your market organically. And she is a former college athlete. She played lacrosse. My nephew is playing lacrosse back east for scholarship right now. Her team name is Uniquely Powerful. She has team leader, and she, after this month, when she does hit SC, she will be all-star. She's a girlfriend, a dog, and cat mama, and I'm just really excited to have her speak with you guys and share her tips and tricks to grow organically. So I think I can, do I make you host? Multiple percent, there we go. All right, you're good to go.
Perfect. Thanks so much for having me, guys. This is exciting. I love talking about this topic just because it's something that I think a lot of people struggle with. Also, I am like a very big squirrel brain, so if I don't read the chat right away, I promise I'll read them at the end if people have questions. I'm like kind of like, so I work full-time in radio, but we're also in the middle of like a toy drive. So we collect thousands of toys all throughout last month and this month. And this month is like this week is like our big handoff. So I've been total toy mode, as I was telling Melissa earlier. So there's a lot going on this week in radio. You would think that we don't do a toy drive when you work in radio, but that's what we do. So a little bit about my story, short and sweet. I have been a coach for 2 years. I've been doing the programs well over 2 years. I originally joined as a discount coach, just strictly for the discount. And then I eventually started getting my feet wet with coaching. And I would say I attempted coaching, but I wasn't really doing anything. And then that October, I went to my first Super Saturday. I had hit Emerald my first time, for the first time in September. And then I went to my first Super Saturday in that October. And then I've been all in ever since. So we're shooting for premiere, but we are currently team leader right now. But that's a little bit about me. I don't like to go too in depth. I don't really have like a drastic transformation or story. I just was struggling with getting into a routine after college and not playing lacrosse 24/7. So I am going to share my screen super quick. Maybe 1 second. Okay, you guys see my screen? Perfect. Okay, so I love talking about growing organically, like I said, for the sole reason that a lot of people pay money to help grow your following. Trust me, I've done it. What is my next slide? I want to make sure I don't. Okay. I know that I definitely have invested in a few different things to help me grow my following, but it ended up locking me out of my accounts or not allowing me to interact with people. Whoa. So I eventually was just like, you know what? This is not worth it to me. So I ended up Googling and doing all the things of trying to grow my following organically and coming in contact with people that I relate to, that I relate with, and all that stuff. So where will this go? I'm constantly looking up the different like ways to help grow and what you should be doing better. So I actually edited a couple of slides before this. So this is one of the ones that I did add on today because I've been currently reading F Leadership by Josh Coates. If you haven't done it, highly recommend it. Stop playing the comparison game, because just because somebody has a large following doesn't necessarily mean that they are even seeing results in their business. It doesn't mean they're a top 10 coach. It doesn't mean that they're signing up 20 people a month. That is something that I used to get in my head so much when I started, and it was, sorry, we have a virtual Christmas concert and it's on my TV, and all of a sudden my face is like on TV, so I'm all over the place, so I apologize. So one thing that I struggled with in the beginning was, I don't have a large following. How am I going to get all these people? Blah, blah, blah. And that is why I say stop playing the comparison game. So this is the strategy. So I want you to think, who is your target audience and what is going on in your life right now? I always try to follow based off of the season in my life. So currently the season of my life involves a 9-week-old, well, technically he's 10 weeks old. He's right here. You can't see him. We have another golden who is about a year old. So crazy dog mom life. Snowboarding, we go snowmobiling. We are from upstate New York. So if anyone is familiar with upstate, you know all the snow that we get. We are huge Buffalo Bills fans. And then if you're looking at like the summer months, we go boating, we go to the lake. So I always try to do it based off of the season of my life and what's going on. And I'll get into this a little bit next, but that's what I kind of want you to think about. And then I want you to kind of ask yourself these 4 questions, and feel free to call yourself out and put them in the chat or just say them to yourself quietly. 1, are you posting every single day? 2, are you using hashtags? 3, are you interacting with your followers and people that you follow? And then 4, the last one, do you make things interactive? And then next, these are usually my key focuses when it comes to growing my following. So starting over here with followers, staying engaged, going on follow sprees, doing it every single day, and then organizing my numbers. I'm kind of OCD. I don't like to ever be following more people that are following me. I think a lot of people are kind of that way anyway. Staying engaged with the people who follow you and the people that you follow. The more you interact to people's stories and messages and their profile and commenting and all of those things, the more you're going to show up and the more you're going to be more relevant, if you may, on their feed. And then make sure you're doing it every single day, even if it's just sort of like 10 minutes a day. The next thing is hashtags. You should be using hashtags on your posts, stories, and finding followers. You could technically use about 31 hashtags, I believe. I usually put them in the comment section just because I hate like filling a whole caption with them. And sometimes you can add one hashtag to a story. So I usually will do a random hashtag and just like make it super small and put it in my stories. And finding followers. Don't forget that you can find followers through hashtags. That's kind of what I've been doing a lot recently, especially when it comes to like the Bills Mafia, for all if there's anybody who's a Buffalo Bills fan out there. And then another app, I haven't used this in a while. I honestly am not even sure if it exists. It's called Smart Hash. The app itself looks like a hashtag, and it's like 4 rainbow, like in a quadrant basically. But that kind of gives you like ideas of hashtags to use that aren't overly used. So you can type in fitness, and then it's going to come up with a bunch of other fitness posts that are not just fitness, because obviously there's millions and millions of hashtags with people using fitness. Next is being active, posting every single day. The more you post to your feed, and I don't want anyone to think like you need to post a long, I tell my team this all the time. I don't want you to think like you need to post like a super, super long caption every single day, because realistically, sometimes we're we've got a busy day, or sometimes we really don't know what we want to post about. Even like a simple "what are you doing this weekend" type post. The more you post, the more relevant you're going to show up in people's feeds first. And going on your stories every day, I have noticed that like the less rants and less blurbs I go on my stories, the more people will watch my stories. So I've kind of been trying to talk a little bit less on my stories, but obviously showing my day throughout the day. Engaging with your followers and the people that you follow. This is another really important one, because if you're not interacting, technically you're not really doing anything other than sharing and surveying and giving advice and doing all those things. And another way I like to do this is, I don't know if anyone has this feature. Let me see. I want to make sure I can see myself. If you go to like who you're following, at the top it says like least interacted with, like up here. So I like to use that every day and just kind of go through, and like obviously I haven't interacted with them. Like this girl posted a video on November 14th. I'll kind of like, this is kind of how I weed people out too. Like if I like find somebody who, okay, I don't really like relate with this girl, I'll unfollow her. Or if it's like somebody who intrigues me, or like we have something in common, I'll watch their stories, or I'll like the like couple most recent photos. But I've kind of gotten into a better routine of being active. So I'm a pen and paper girl, so I track all my invites and all that stuff on paper. So every 3 days I was following up with people, but then I kind of was just like, okay, I need to focus on engagement. I need to focus on being active. So instead, what I've been doing is going back 3 days, but I've been going back to like the people that I like sent my original connection message to, and just loving up on their stories or loving up on their Instagram posts or comments. Or I've been doing a lot on Facebook now too, so I've been trying to be a little bit more interactive with them. That way they don't really show up in my who I haven't interacted with. But the who you haven't interacted with, definitely go to it, because I bet you can find a handful of people that you probably forgot that you follow, that you have something in common with, or can weed out the people that you have nothing in common with or can't relate to them. I think that's all I wanted to touch on that. And then next is being interactive and being a business profile. If you've not made your profile a business profile yet, do it. You can see all of your insights. Insights are gold. They teach you so much about like the right times to post, with the age range of like who's liking your posts, interacting with your stories. And then the more you use Instagram's features, the more likely you are going to show up at the beginning of people's like who to watch stories, other than like just the people that they watch daily. And then next is interacting with everybody, even if they don't follow you back, kind of touching on the fact of what I just said, going into your least interacted with, because there is a chance that you will finally get their attention, or you might react to their story and they answer you and you can get connected and get acquainted, or whatever that may be. Another way I do this is people who watch my stories, or people who are liking my posts. Even if I don't follow them, I'll go watch their stories if they're like public, or I'll go like a couple of posts just to say like, hey, I see you love it up on my stuff, I'm going to do it back type of deal. I'm so sorry if I'm talking super fast too, because I'm like gasping for air, and I'm like, hopefully people understand what I'm saying. So a lot of the time I get asked, where do I find people? So I usually find people from friends of friends, followers of followers, hashtags, like I said, locations, tagged photos, accounts that I love, celebrities that I love, shows and products that I love as well. So friends of friends, kind of self-explanatory, along with followers of followers. Hashtags, we talked about that. Locations, so like going off of what I said, based off the season of your life, like right now. So we are in prime, like supposed to be, we're finally getting snow, but I'll look up like a bunch of like ski places, people who are snowboarding or like snowboarding brands, and I'll go like people who are interested in snowboarding and skiing and being outside in the winter. I'll go to those places and look up different mountains and lodges and just go follow people who have been there. Tagged photos, I literally have gone to tagged photos of like country artists I've had meet and greets with and just go follow the people that had meet and greets with them and interact with them. Same with the accounts you love, celebrities you love, shows and products. And I've also even went full creeper mode and looked up old lacrosse rosters of girls I used to play in college. So it works. I got a few people who we had some stuff in common with, but I was just bored one day, so that's what I came up with. So my top tips for going on sprees, because this is something that my girls dread doing, and I secretly think that they are not doing it, and it shows. So the top tips that I have is set a timer or a number. Set a timer for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it may be. Honestly, I just go on random follow sprees whenever I get a free second. If my boyfriend's driving, I do it when I'm on the toilet at work or wherever, or if I have a free second to breathe when I get home, I will just go on a follow spree. I don't really set a timer, set a number anymore, but if you are a person who has strict limited time, set a timer. You can follow so many people in just 10 minutes, let me tell you. Or you can set a number. I want to follow 100 people today. So take 10 random times throughout your day to follow 10 new people. And then do it when you have a free second. Utilizing who you haven't engaged with, kind of what I touched on, and people who are liking your posts, watching your stories. And then make sure you're unfollowing a handful of people every single day. Picking a letter, what I mean by this is another way to find some people. So say you really are into The Bachelorette and you're watching Tayshia on her journey, you can go to Tayshia's Instagram, type in like the name Melissa, who she's following or who might be following her, and just go follow all the Melissas who seem interesting to you. Or type in like a Rachel or whatever the heck name that comes to your mind. Sometimes I'll do that. Sometimes I'll do that when I'm inviting. I'll go to my followers, pick a random letter, or like when I'm engaging, I'll pick a random letter or a name and just go engage a little bit with those people. I don't know if anybody is familiar with engagement pods. I was doing these for a while. I just recently stopped because I wanted to see if it helped my engagement. Typically, it's a group of about 8 to 12 people. It's an Instagram group, and then whenever somebody posts, they say cheers, and then when everybody sees that, they go like and comment on your post, and they like it to like confirm that they did it. But I was noticing that I was just getting a ton of other coaches coming to my profile from the people that were in my pods, and they're all part of the same team. So I kind of strayed away from that because I just wanted to see how it's been doing. Next is Reels. This is one I added today because Reels are a game changer. They're taking over. It is essentially TikTok on Instagram, but you get so much more engagement when you use Reels. I've been trying to do at least 1 or 2 a week, whether it's a workout or something fun. You can come up with so many creative ideas. So highly recommend using Reels if you are not yet. Give it a try. I did a workout like a couple weeks ago and it blew up. It was like, it didn't literally blow up, but like for my feed, for like me, it blew up. It was like, your reel has over 4,000 views. And I was like, what? So I just was so confused. So definitely take advantage of the reels. They are also mainly showing up on the explore page as well. So another thing, when my girls tell me that they're not growing, they can't grow, they're not finding people, I have them do an audit. So one of them being you're not engaging enough with others. If you're not engaging with your followers or their followers or whoever, you're just kind of like a ghost who's posting. You're posting too much or not enough. Kind of what I touched on, me talking like for so many slides in my stories. Half the time people don't want to watch that. They are just going to skip right through unless it's something interesting or make sure you add like a caption or a little blurb so they can like catch what you're saying. You're not posting enough. If you're not posting enough, if you're showing up like every other day or like every other 2 days, you're not going to be one of the first people that you're not going to be one of the first people that people see. 3, you're not providing value. Kind of go through your feed and see what you're posting. Are you sharing your workout? Are you sharing tips about healthy meal planning? Are you sharing about your team and what you do? Or are you just like sharing that you're going on a vacation pre-COVID, or your kids and your dogs and stuff that's not really providing value? I'm not saying that stuff's not okay, because I post my dogs and all that stuff, but the happy medium of making sure you're still serving people. And then the last, to put it bluntly, you're boring. Are you being interesting to people? Are you relating with people? Are you doing stuff to keep them there, keep them watching and following? The whole I'm running out of people, I don't know if people curse, so I'm just going to say this is BS. I tell my girls this all the time. There are so many people in the world. Melissa, you said this to my girls, that there's literally so many people out there. So the whole I'm running out of people, I literally tell them, I go to a location that you like to go on vacation, or a restaurant you like to go to, and go follow all the people who have most recently posted there, or people of friends of those people. So I also like to tie in Success Club, because obviously if you're on this call, you are building your business. You are making it a non-negotiable to hit Success Club every single month. So I bet you that there are 5 people in your life that you've never invited, but you could. And then I'm betting you that there are 5 people that you've never followed up with, but you should have. And I bet you that there are 10 people who follow you that you're too scared to invite. And then my last slide is kind of just like a little bit of a challenge to put in the chat. Who are 4 people that you can invite that you've never invited? And then I want you to think of why you haven't invited them. I know a lot of the people that I could invite are people from high school, people that I just am afraid of the judgment. But that's all I got. I hope it was helpful.
If you have any questions or anything, you can put it in the chat or unmute yourself. All right. Well, I know that I loved the tips for the sprees, and going through with like picking a letter, or even just like going to the people I haven't interacted with. I just noticed that today when I was going through for unfollows, I was like, "Ooh, I should check those people out." So I think that that's a really great way to get that going. And again, we've been talking about reels like crazy. So we had our first call. She reiterated it again. I just posted my first one this week. So I want, if you haven't done it yet, bite the bullet and do it. Make it fun. Or like she said, doing a workout one that you already make a video anyways, you can upload it to Reels and it's seen differently than it is for your stuff. And then making sure you're auditing. I loved that. Like, are you engaging with people? Are you boring? Is your voice monotone? Who wants to be listening to that person who's like, today I drank a shake and ate a salad? Make it fun. So thank you so much. If anybody doesn't have, I'm sorry, we're in a growling stage right now. If you have any questions, let her know. But other than that, thank you so much. If you took a picture, tag her. I did put it in there. I also took a picture already, and I will be doing that. So have a great Monday, friends, and a great Christmas. Say bye.